What the heck are you people doing over there? Bunch of weirdos. Good morning and welcome back. This weekend, today's Saturday, have a lot of things we want to get done, to include planting the rest of our garden, getting a lawnmower fixed so we can actually mow the lawn. It's getting to be a jungle. And basically just clean up around our property. We've got a lot of trees and limbs I've cut down this spring that I haven't hauled off. We're probably going to burn a whole bunch of those if we get to that. Build some more fence, and hopefully play a little bit. But one thing that showed up this week is this giant box. That is our new chicken plucker. We are planning on butchering these 50 some odd chickens in about 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember, on the 19th of June, whenever that is, 3 or 4 weeks down. But today we've got the opportunity. Our neighbor had some chickens that they need butchered, and they cannot find anybody who will butcher them within like 100 miles. So we have the stuff to do it. We said we would. Great opportunity for us to kind of run through our process. They only have just maybe 15 or so it won't be such a big deal. But run through our process of how this works and try out this new chicken plucker. So we're gonna open that up right now and figure out how to get it set up and moved. They had to bring it in on a pallet jack. I don't know how heavy the thing is, but they kind of acted like it was really heavy. So we're gonna do that. First, before we do that, we're gonna clean up this garage just a little bit. We got some stuff left in here from soccer games and kind of in and out of the car stuff. So we're gonna clean up just a little bit, and then we'll start opening up this chicken plucker. Alright, that looks a little better. Not perfect, but good enough to get us going on opening this package up. So we're going to start doing that, see what this thing looks like. Not sure how many pieces it comes in, if it's all assembled or not. Looks like that thing is just set and ready to go. So take a look at it here. This looks like it's good to go. They actually just got here with the chicken, so I'm gonna go help them unload those. Not that there's a lot, there's only just like 15 or so of them, but we're gonna get those in the back and then we'll start getting everything else set up. Here we've got our setup. We've got our killing cone, makeshift, will suffice for now until our real ones get here when we do ours. Our scalding station, our plucking station, our eviscerating station, our cooling station, and we'll store them behind there. So we are ready to go. I'll let you guys check this out.
All right. Come on. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Let's go.
Finished butchering these chickens. Took a little longer than we had hoped, but we got them all done. We are now just finishing cleaning up a little bit, so we'll do that, and then we're gonna get in the garden. Hoping to get most of it planted today, but our time is kind of running out, so we'll see how that works out. Finally, we got a sunny day, so I've got to get a better hat on. Got it on. Keep the sun off me. But yeah, we're gonna jump in that garden and get to work. We have already planted just a couple rows here, kind of in between the rainstorms that we got the last few weeks. So we've got a few, I guess 4 here you can see. A couple of peas, a couple of beans. We plant them as double rows, so there's actually 2 rows with each drip tape. They're planted about 6 inches apart, and then we plant the drip tape goes every 3 feet. We do 3 feet because we are trying to cram as much as we can into this garden. We have done 4 feet in the past, but by shrinking it down to 3 feet, it gets us about 5 extra rows in this garden. And we don't see much of a difference. I mean, it's a little bit of a narrow walk space when the plants get really big, but it doesn't really bother us much. And you can see that when there's nothing growing there, there's plenty of space to walk. There are just a very, very few peas coming up, not a whole ton of them yet though. And I'll show you what we're getting into right now. So that is the very end of our garden there. Over here is where our gate is on that side. We are now jumping to the middle of the garden. The reason we're doing that is because we are planting tomatoes next. They are outgrowing their containers that they're in, and so they just need to get planted. If we don't get to the other stuff until later, it'll be okay. But we need to get this stuff in there as soon as we can, these tomatoes. So, I'm gonna show you this real fast. This is nothing incredibly special. It's just a little notebook. Happiness is you and me. You and me, we are happiness. Happiness is you and me. But no, just a little notebook. We use this as our garden journal. Let me set you down here. I'll use both hands to show you. So this is just our garden journal that we kind of do, so you can see there's just notes. This is all the years past, what we planted. That's when we started when we moved here, so 2019 is our first date. But it shows everything we planted that year. This is what our plan is for this year. We've already changed it a little bit, but by doing this, we know exactly where we're planting everything, and we don't have to plant in order as we go across the garden. We can just start from the middle. We know exactly where everything's measured out to be, and we can just plant that way. I highly recommend, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, you can get apps for it. There's like books you can buy, there's specific garden planners. Doesn't matter what you do, but get a journal that you can keep track of it. That way you can know where everything's been planted in the past, you don't have to memorize it, and you can make a plan, kind of draw it up on paper. So our row 9 and 10 are gonna be our tomatoes, and that's where we're starting right now. Let's do it. We've got 2 rows of these tomatoes planted. You can see them back there. You can't see much of the tomatoes right now because we buried them deep, so they're just barely poking up. And now we're working on planting another row of beans. Unfortunately, these beans are growing, well, this row's going where a bunch of grass is. Even with all these wood chips, we've not been able to get these grass roots out of here. They are just a force to be contended with. But we're doing our best. The wood chips are helping keep them down a little bit. So when we got to pull all these roots out, we just kind of peeled the top layer of dirt back a little bit. So we're getting these wood chips out, or the roots out, I mean, and then we're going to plant them. Look who came to say hi. They're like, what the heck are you people doing over there? Bunch of weirdos.
Time won't stop, so gonna get on the ride.
I'll get by. Home moves with me where I roam. It's in every dream I make my own. I'm never alone. I know that every day will always bring me something new.
Well, it's been a long day so far. We've gotten quite a bit done, but we want to get a little bit more done in this garden. Before that, we got to eat something. We're all getting hungry. It's dinner time, so we are going to eat, and then we'll come back and hopefully plant some potatoes. Potatoes. Those are our... these are the ones that were coming up from last year. Potatoes that we didn't get volunteers. So. But yeah, we're gonna plant them for real this time. Get some real potatoes planted after dinner. Well, we just got finished eating. The sun is starting to go down a little bit, so it's not quite as powerful on my head. So I'm not wearing my hat today. But we are gonna plant these potatoes. Potatoes are nice because we don't have to dig the rows the same. So it'll be a lot easier. We won't have to move as much of the grass. It's kind of a spot where there's not as much anyway. And we can just rake just everything flat and then dig with a shovel to get it in the ground. These are pretty quick to do, much quicker than most things that we're planting, especially the beans and stuff like that. So we'll get into this one and we'll kind of show you how we do this as we go.
Every day will bring me something new.
Alright, we got this ground all prepared. The kids are still picking a few little grass leaves, blades. So when we plant the potatoes, we plant them a foot apart. By a foot, I mean literally my foot. Just stick a shovel in the ground, pull the dirt back enough to drop a potato in there, and then let it go. And then I take a step in between and plant the next one. So it goes pretty quick that way, and we can get them done fast and in the ground. We got us about 200 potato plants planted now. That should get us about 1,000 pounds worth of potatoes. I'm guessing, I have no idea. But we are done for the day. How many rows is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 25. Darn, I thought we were at least halfway. Well, we got a lot of work to do still. We're probably about 3 weeks behind of where I wish we were. But we'll keep plugging away at it and we'll be all right. A lot of the stuff that we've got left doesn't take too long to grow. So we'll be okay, but we're gonna call that a day. We have worked probably about 16 hours today and I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna go and rest my weary bones. We'll catch you guys next time.